Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the previous few days, I have shared the differences between the Wing Chun 1850 and the Wing Chun since 1875 until today. And many questions have arisen. One of the questions asking me is, so where can we learn the true 1850 Wing Chun? Now, today I like to share with you. To learn the Wing Chun 1850 properly, we need to know the foundations of it. Because you cannot learn the Wing Chun 1850 as you learn the Wing Chun 1875 or the Wing Chuns today. It is a completely different mindset. So I like to share with you the following so that you'll be able to learn the Wing Chun 1850. Now, the first thing which we need to be really clear on is that the Wing Chun 1850s I present today in the USA is based on the college way of educations, like the university educations. And actually, this type of educations is according to the ancient teaching, the 1850s teaching up to the General Qi Ji Guang's teaching. In fact, General Qi Ji Guang teaching is very similar to today's university's teaching. So how is this type of teaching? I'm going to share with you the teaching of today's Wing Chun or the after 1875 type of teaching and the university type of teaching of 1850. So you know exactly what happened. Now, let's look at something seems not related to this, but it is all related. We know in previous 2-3 years there is this pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. Now let me ask you a question. Can you, using the vaccine of the previous pandemic for the COVID-19 pandemic, or you need a completely new vaccine for COVID-19? Well, we know that we need a complete different type of vaccine, which is solving the COVID-19 problem, right? Okay, so this is the reality or the truth of the life in this earth. Be it 1,000 years ago or 5,000 years later or today, it is as it. You always have to have some new development to solve problem as the COVID-19 case. Okay? Now, Same thing at the time of General Qi Guang, 1560. The Chinese is facing the Japanese pirate. The Japanese pirate is good in the samurai sword, fighting, and jujitsu. The Chinese is not ready for that. That's why they lost until General Qi Guang start the reform. So they defeat the Japanese pirate, and that is what happened in the history. Okay, so the ancient Chinese teaching is a teacher. A teacher. The job of the teacher have three type of job. One is called 传道 or passing the experience. The second is 授业 meaning teaching the basic foundation. The third thing is 解惑 meaning solving the problem for the student as it arises. That's how the ancient Chinese teach. So it is like in today's university. You go to, say, a physics lecture, okay? A physics lecture. The teacher is presenting physics, okay? Physics from, say, Sir Isaac Newton and from Einstein's. All these are technical stuff. So the teacher is presenting that. Okay? Now, so the teacher is pass down the experience he have in the physics laboratory, teaching the foundations of the physics, like Newton's three laws and so forth, and also helping the student to solve their problem if they do not understand why Newton's law is this way, how the Newton laws apply, so forth, so forth. So everything is based on the facts and the reality of the subject. The teacher, the lecturer, is the one who presents the subject. Okay? You go to any university, it's always like that, right? Now, if somebody is having a questions or do not believe in certain thing on physics, then the teacher will show you the evidence, the scientific evidence on why is this. Am I right? So this is the college educations. Now, up to now, you see that the role of the teacher, he is somebody who present this knowledge, this experience, and this data. This is all, nothing personal. This is everything is the data. And in this case, physics. You go to all the university in the same physics class, they will present the same type of contents. Okay? Now, again, the teacher is the one who presents it. Now, the teacher's job is to make sure that the student understand all of this. And so the student later, because they have fully understand this content, they can be a physicist, They can be an engineer, or they even can be somebody be able to find or to hypothesis the new or the even advanced physics stuff and proven and come out with a theory or a law like the Newton's three law. And this has been going on, if you want to talk about physics, for hundreds of years. Okay? So the teacher's job is to make sure that the student understand everything so the student can grow. Well, to the minimum, the student understand what is going on. If you go back to General Qi Ji Guang time, it is the same stuff. So they have to base on reality. And General Qi Ji Guang even have to study the Japanese samurai fighting. They got a scroll of the samurai sword fighting. They analyze it. Okay? So, if the student get an A or get an F, it got nothing to do with how close it is to the teacher, or whether it is the teacher's pet, or it is the person, the son of the teacher. Got nothing to do with that. It is, do you understand the subject? And when you want to discuss this, even you want to challenge the subject, you present your data, your evidence. It is direct toward the the content. Got nothing to do with personal. So that is how the ancient Chinese is teaching. That's how the 1850s Wing Chun in the ancient is passing down. Again, the teacher is responsible for teaching the experience, teaching the foundation basic, and the third thing is to solve problem so that the student be able to understand and proceed. So say 10 years later, you can see that like today, there are alumni go back to the university, and some alumni has already become, say, an expert in the physics, which is even surpass far away uh, from the teacher who teach them, the lecturer who teach them. And that's how things progress. That's how you can invent or create the COVID vaccine. Okay, because the student understand what is going on, and then everything can progress, expand, go deeper, go further. So that is the college education's model, which I present in this channel. When it comes to 1850s Wing Chun, it has to be this way, because if you don't go this way, there's no way Qi Ji Guang can defeat the Japanese pirate. Well, they obviously found out, Qi Ji Guang obviously found out, a samurai sword can break two Chinese swords. Meaning you put two Chinese swords together and the samurai sword chop down, both these swords will break. Okay? So everything has to be based on evidence. And everything is based on what the student understand and what student really know and comprehend and be able to be proficient. That's what the name of the game is. It is about teaching, teaching a science, a technology. That's how it is. Okay? So if the student get an A, get an F, that's a student. And you need to give an A or F based on whether the student know it or not. Like General Chi Chi Guang again. You will not get somebody like your son an A and somebody you don't like an F because, hey man, when you go facing the samurai, the Japanese warrior in the war, that is the reality. So, in this mindset, when somebody asking me, 1850s Wing Chun, uh, what do you have to prove it? Is that from your teacher and everything and so forth? What I share is like in the my book, Restricting Wing Chun and the Wing Chun Inception. Got nothing to do with this Hendrik. All this data I show where is all the sources is. So I treat it like a physics as an example. So anybody, disregard of from any nations, any race, any religions, can go study it like studying physics. Whether you get an A or get an F, it's not about what I like or I don't like. It's how much do you really know the subject. So that's how you need to put in mind if you want to study the 1850s Wing Chun. Now, Wing Chun or a lot of traditional Chinese martial art, the Wing Chun after the 1875 until today, is not taking that model. The model is this. I am the teacher. It doesn't matter what is facts or reality or not. I am the teacher. What I say is the ultimate. You are my student. Either you follow me or you are out the door. Okay? And whatever I say is the truth. And the student will say this. Oh, I learned this from Hendrik. And of course, they are not going to say it is Hendrik. It's a Grandmaster Hendrik. And you know that what is present there is not just like the physics, like in the university or like Qi Ji Guang anymore. It is whatever I said. So you can find one teacher can teach 10 students and 10 students have all different informations. Okay? And then you generate two types of student. One type of student is the yes man student. He learned from the teacher, 10 years later, he come still praised as the grandmaster. Very different than the physics student that maybe 10 years later, he's one of the top Nobel Prize winner, which is surpassed far, far away from the lecturer, based on evidence. So over here, you got this student, yes man student, and say, you know, I have this relationship with my teacher. When you ask him, what do you learn? Well, I learned what this Grandmaster or Supreme Grandmaster Hendrik teach me. It is completely different than in the physics. I learned Newton's three laws. I learned Einstein's presentation and so forth, so forth. It is completely, I learned from Supreme Hendrik's teaching. And then you have another type of student. The student, 10 years later, will say, well, Hendrik is not as good as me. I know more than Hendrik. But if you ask them, what is you have which is better than Hendrik? Then they'll start to say, Tai Chi, internal, all this kind of stuff. But still, nobody from the student and the Sifus, the teacher, the student who's a yes man, or the student who want to be a grandmaster saying that the teacher don't know his thing, all of them have no idea what is the content of the physics. An example, everything is he says, she says. And then when it comes to reason, they don't have a reason. For example, you can go to YouTube and check. Somebody will say, you know what? Feng Xiuqing called the Wing Chun eternal spring. Eternal spring, not praise spring. Yip Man call it praise spring because Yip Man want to be #1 guy in Hong Kong. If you call it eternal spring instead of praise spring, he will be nobody. Go watch YouTube. What is this? This is just name calling and labeling. Any evidence? There's no evidence. It's that Sifu, his personal opinion, take as the truth of the universe. So the student spreading it. So that's why you have decades since 1870s to today is a Wing Chun praise spring or the Wing Chun eternal spring. Nobody know what the heck, and everybody say, my Sifu said this, my Sifu said this. Okay? And then you got Sifu, a student who decide to go out to be his grandmaster, will support different saying and so forth, so forth. So, and for example, you can see they say, well, Hendrik, your 1850s Wing Chun writing about 峨眉十二庄 is not true. What? Why it's not true? Don't know. Do you have any evidence? Don't know. So what is this about? This is only labeling and name calling. Okay? So this is the system for past 130 years. It's not going to create Nobel Prize winner. It's not going to create those who be able to create COVID-19 vaccine in a short period of time because people need it. So this is the two type of system of educations. 1850 is on that type. There's no face given. There is no, hey, we are buddy. I am your student, or I'm the favorite student. I'm the older student. What do you say? I want to know technical truth if you go to the physics learning way. Okay? So today's Wing Chun and a lot of traditional Chinese martial arts like that. My father is so and so. In physics, you can say my father is Einstein. Who cares? Okay, Einstein's Einstein's. Einstein's contributions and capabilities. Einstein, you are his son. That's none of your business. Show us what do you have technically. Okay? So Wing Chun 1850 has to be like that. You go back to 1560, General Qi Ji Guang. Can you afford to bring your army out to fight the Japanese pirate if you have clueless on what the heck you're going to face? In other words, if you are clueless on COVID-19 virus, it doesn't matter who the hell you are. You're going to cause all people die. Okay? So this is the thing. Now, for past at least hundreds of years, people is they love to arguing. This is from my lineage. This is how we learn, and so forth, so forth. But guess what? They don't know what's going on. For example, the theme of Wing Chun, the theme of Wing Chun, sticking body, short strike Wing Chun, is what? So Wing Chun have four hands: the leg hand, the body, the hip hand, and then these two hands, four hands. That's called Tip San Tuin Da. This leg is called Big Bow Sig Wai, pressuring the step and eating his position or taking his position or robbing his position. This sticking body is called my son, my son. And then you have two hands attack where your tan bong for everything come in here. Now, after 130 years of all this, my grandmaster is the supreme grandmaster. His grandmaster is the supreme grandmaster. My lineage, your lineage. Or like the other day, there's a video out there in YouTube saying that Wang Fei Hong is not as good as this Wing Chun guy, and the bandits is the Choi Lei Fat guy, and this Wing Chun guy from this village from can defeat them. Out of all of this nonsense, or Wing Chun is Wing Chun, you know what? People don't even know what is Big Bow Sig Wai, my son. Another word, one lose the two hands under the arm. After 130 years, you can keep quarreling who is the grandmaster and so forth, so forth. You lost the important part. And still want to quarreling. Xi Xiaodong is like the COVID-19. Well, good luck, because you don't have students which can create the new COVID-19 vaccine. You get wiped out. Isn't it the situation right now? So who is the guy who go following General Qi Ji Guang's teaching and the old ancient Chinese teacher way or Sifu's way? Teaching the experience, teaching the foundation, and solving the problem. Nobody. People just sitting down there, praise my Sifu is the grandmaster, blah blah blah. Making stories, making movies. Yet the person they make movie and putting story, like just now I tell you about this. Oh, this guy is Liang Zhan's student. He helped the Wang Fei Hong when Wang Fei Hong cannot subdue the bandit. He went there, subdue the bandit. Wang Fei Hong cannot do the job. He do the job, and then the other side is the Choi Lei Fat. Did that guy do that? Or who the hell is the one who create all these nonsense stories? Okay. Now, you have a big problem. You lost practically what under your arm in the past 130 years, and you dare to tell me about your grandmaster? You lost the theme of Wing Chun. And the term Sek Wai, Big Bo, my son, still around. Keep son doing that. You can even heard it in the movie, but nobody know what the heck it is. Okay? So the reason why I'm saying this is you have to get back to the like the physics class methodology of learning. You need to drop this type of really corrupted mindset, or else you never produce good people to come. You never produce the excellent researcher which developed the COVID vaccine, and you do not have the new technology which can handle the COVID virus. So like today, when Xi Xiaodong critics on you, laugh at you, everybody shut up. Who dare to stand up to say, hey man, this is not true? It's not about who fight who. It's like physics. People can prove you wrong with Newton's law. Well, I can tell you one thing about this thing which is in today's Wing Chun, which is really magical, which is, doesn't make any sense. So Wing Chun, when it hit, say in start 1930s and so forth, they start to get Tai Chi stuff in there. So you can always hear this energy. So the other day, someone is asking me, why is 1960s Wing Chun is all the statics and the mind energy? Well, because they don't know what it is, and they took the whatever the northern Chinese art, like the Tai Chi and so forth, throughout the marketing terms, they take it and then they put it into the Wing Chun, their Wing Chun, and they call it internal Wing Chun, and like they know it all. But it's the same thing, like the physics class I make example. They don't have that content. It's just whatever the grandmaster say, what they are the spokesman of God. So an example I can share with you. If you look into the website and the what do you call that, YouTube, you always see that the Wing Chuners debate on the the dragging steps. When you make a step and you drag the step, okay? You make the step and dragging step. Some say this is right, some say this is wrong, and I even heard people saying this. The reason of that dragging the leg is because when you punch something, the energy go to the target and the energy will come back to you, and you have to pull or shift your leg so that you can ground it, your energy. Now, is that true? First of all, force is force. Momentum is the moving of the body weight multiplied by the speed. What is energy? Well, get it straight. What sailing energy is again those Tai Chi stuff energy. The second thing, when you stuck something, in physics there is something called action and reaction force. They exist in the same time. When you strike at it, action force, they right away instantaneously have a reaction force. How can you, at the instantaneous of existence of action and reaction force, you drag your leg later to say you want to ground it? It doesn't make sense in terms of physics. Okay? Now, not to mention, hey man, there are another case. Besides this, I strike him, the reaction force come back to me, I have to absorb it, those kind of thing. What if the opponent baits you? You strike it, and now he is somewhere else. Now what? You're going to drag your leg there to root. You don't hit anything. There is no action and reaction force. So what? Now what? Drag your leg. See? This is exactly the problem of people start with what my Sifu say. Instead of starting with what exactly happened in the past and what is the physics say. That's why in the 1850s Wing Chun, you look at my books, the Wing Chun Inception and Restricting Wing Chun, all is one side is the ancient writing, another side is science, physics, sports science. You need to verify that. Or else you're making a silly thing like, oh, I strike him, the energy will come back, so I have to shift my leg or drag my leg so I can uh, get the energy back to the ground. What are you talking about? In physics, the instant you shoot it in, there's a reaction force coming back already. And also, why? What if he bait me? I struck at him, and now I do not have those action and reaction force because he's gone. And I'm a sitting duck here because he bait me. So what happened here? What should I do? Well, that's why that is the recycling of momentum come. There's a real thing from the Shaolin sword strike. I shoot him full force. My body be able to take the action reaction force. If he go away, guess what? I'm going to recycle. My momentum go outward, turn into something else. That is called recycling momentum. So all these people quarreling and arguing about this leg shifting have no clue what is going on. Not to mention, it is not Yuma, horse and waist and go to elbow and then you exert your force out. It's not true. The truth is your footwork, your core or your core here with your shoulder have to exert forward in order to get that power. Only after this you transfer to your opponent via your elbow and your fist. You're missing that, you're always like that, you will never be able to actually throw the KO punch. Look at how Xi Xiaodong play with Ding Hao. So you're missing link there. So why spend 130 years arguing nonsense where you're missing the two hands under your arm? You don't know what is really going on this force handling in today's term, action, reaction force, momentum, recycling momentum. How is that thing supposed to work? Everybody can have their opinion, 5 cents. But then when you face somebody like Xi Xiaodong, is not even a pro. You cannot face him because he's trained in modern martial art MMA, which is based on science and based on the real data in martial arts, like General Qi Ji Guang, like the physics analogy or the 1850s analogy on the teaching or learning mindset model. What you have is only based on your teacher, and your teacher doesn't even present what is going on. Now, so you speak about Wing Chun, like dragging the leg. What is this leg dragging is for? Well, you ask me, well, Hendrik, do you train those? Sure, I train those. I train those for the recycling momentum and so forth. So what is this for? You want to know, right? What is this for? It's so simple if you really know what it is. So what is this for? It is this for. That is not a dragging leg. That is a knee to attack him. Remember we said Wing Chun have two hands down there. You step out here in. This thing follow. This is a knee, not a dragging a stance to take energy. So that's how hopeless it is. So yes, you train that. But this is not the dragging as you think. This is he come in. I get close to him right away. This is the leg hand. Got it? Instead of, oh, this Tai Chi, energy, Chi, bullshit. How are you going to face your opponent? Isn't that hand is the uniqueness, the theme of Wing Chun? So, why I train this? Well, I show you already. This drag in is for striking him inside there. Another thing is from here, I can raise in. Strike again. There is the leg under there. So you play the set for 130 years. Everybody have their opinion, have their grandmaster, Wing Chun, Wang Chun, Tai Chi, whatever. Liang Zhan, Wang Hua Bo, Đại Phá Miên Cảm, Chi Sim, Mui. You don't even know that this is what it is for? What us? How you know? What grandmaster? So we need to know. We need, if you want to learn 1850s Wing Chun, we need to get to the proper education model, like in the physics classroom, like General Chi Chi Guang. That is the proper way. Don't tell me about this is my lineage, that lineage. So today I ask everybody in the world in Wing Chun. For past 130 years, it is such a simple thing for the knee attack to the knee. You always heard the term in the movie, but do you know what the heck it is? So when is this thing going to be straightened out? So that is the first thing. That is the toxic. That has to go. Or else you will not be able to understand what is going on. You will not be able to produce good students. You will not be able to get new technology. Now you see what that means. And if you have a 1,000 people practice that, you will come up with many, many new ways to use it. That's how your Wing Chun grow. Stronger, better. you create more better, capable young generations. Okay? It's very critical. And also, you need to learn something, you need to really learn it in details. Like years ago in Silicon Valley, I formulate the six core element. And after that, many people, and some don't even pass what I teach, learn something a little bit from me, and then going out thinking they know it all about six core element. Some have not even know anything and copy my book, try to sell it as a six core element or whatever heck. The reason I mention this to you is this. Do you know what is the secret of the six core element? The secret of the six core element I want to share with the world today. It is not that you follow me like a parrot. When Hendrik say the physical element, you say it's physical element. When Hendrik say the chi flow element, you say chi flow element. Just be like a parrot. The real kung fu come is when the six core element become one. You stand up, the six become one. Why do I formulate the six core element? I formulate the six core element because if I want to tell you about the six is one, you will not be able to understand what the heck I'm talking about. That's why you will not be able to understand what is the writing in the 1850s Wing Chun. That's why I break it in part. Six core, six part. Now, if you really know of this, six become one. Every move is a six core element. For example, this back stance. Do you know that this back stance is wrong? Do you know that this back stance is wrong? According to what? If you know six core element, you know this back stance is wrong. The proper back stance is this. This crotch here, this have to be pulling this way, this have to pulling that way. So your body be able to go forward and backward. The minute you do this, you dead because you have only one direction. Your body is limited, become imbalanced to only tilting backward and imbalance. So it is this crotch, open this crotch. Now if you know the six core element, will you stand like this? You won't. You will stand like that. Okay? That is because six now become one. So you look around, everybody who preaching the six core element, who is like copycat, playing parrots, and claiming as a grandmaster. You look at their leg, you look at their body, you know very clearly they don't have anything. But it is like I share with you. In this type of corrupted system, education system, where you took the grandmaster as the ultimate without content, you will have only one is the yes man student. Do nothing, do not really thinking, do not really learn much, but mimic stuff. And after 10 years, oh, my grandmaster teach me this. Always talking about the past. And then you have those students who want to make money, or grandmaster will say, well, you know, that the teacher don't know what he's talking about, I'm better. Those are the corrupted model. When I do the six column, and do I want those things? I don't want those things. I want it to be like the COVID-19 case. You need to have young scientists or experienced scientists to break that puzzle, to face the virus. You need new vaccine. Overnight, you need that vaccine or else people die. Like Chi Chi Guang, they couldn't break the Japanese samurai sword. So at last, they took a scroll after somebody died in the war in their battle. They took the Japanese scroll. Right away, they analyze and they know how to break it. You need those type of people. I don't care what grandmaster. Let me can tell you, share with the world. I'm not a grandmaster. I can be a teacher, a lecturer, but not grandmaster, not into that grade. Grandmaster is like Einstein's, Nikola Tesla, Sir Isaac Newton. Those rate, I might be able to be a good professor, but I'm far away from those real guru. I know where I stand, and I'm not the best fighter either. But as any professor or lecturer in any university, we are clear on this thing. What you will make it or what you are going to completely screw up. Okay? So you need to know this. You need to know instead of jumping gun using the bad corrupted model for past 130 years. Oh, I know six core element. Are you sure? Just look at your body. It shows whether do you know or not. I don't want to have a yes man student. That is bad either. You want to create all those good students, disregard of lineage. That opened up a new paradigm. And as for the content of the 1850, if you clear on what I'm presenting in this video, it's simple. Watch this channel. Go to every video I have. Take notes what I'm saying. Study it. There are many doing that. That is because they have heart. They can study it. It costs nothing to pay me. You just have to use your time to write down. Whenever I said what it is, go experiment with it. And before that, you need to have a checkup from your medical doctor because there are many things I already say in my video, don't do it because a lot of things, if your body is not strong enough, you cannot touch it. It's damaging. Okay? That's why keeping sharing different type of training and so forth. If you want to have an easy way, go just get my books and studying for 3 years, all my books, from the basic Wing Chun art and science and the Wing Chun matrix, the restricting Wing Chun, and the Wing Chun inception. Study it for 3 years. Really put down your mind, studying, making note, and make sure you understand. If you don't, I'm not that yet. You can message me, Facebook, asking me questions on this technical. I always happy to help young people so that they understand they can carry on the Wing Chun title. Do you want to wait until I die? Nobody asks anymore and say, oh, I read this book, but it's too late. Here, Hendrik is dead. I have nobody to ask. It is very simple stuff. Make it an education. No grandmaster is like a college, but nobody can do the job for you. Being a yes man for me is not going to learn the thing. Be the guy who learn a little bit and right away want to be a grandmaster, he's not going to learn anything. So you need to like go to college. You work hard, take probably 3 years. You know all these things, guaranteed. You live in a different paradigm, a different world, like all martial arts. So that's how to learn the 1850s Wing Chun. If you want movie, you want those, oh, my grandmaster is the supreme and all those kind of stuff. Sorry, this channel is not for you. 1850s Wing Chun is not for you. So this is why I like to put it clear for you. So like, if I'm not wrong, the first Matrix, the first Matrix movie, at the end, is saying that in the phone call, is saying that I'm going to tell this to the world. I don't know about the future. This is not the end, but this is the beginning. It has to begin now. Or else you know that you will be completely wiped out. Of course, those who just want following movies, mimicking this and that, they will love whatever they do. Whatever they do, they will like. But so be it. This is a democratic world. Do whatever you want. Do fantasy. But in the real Wing Chun, 1850, real Chi Chi Guang, real Shaolin, this is the way to go. There's no other way. You know, in the world, since 100 years ago, 1,000 years later, like in this COVID example, you cannot get out from this. And no grandmaster can save you from that. You need a group of good people, young people, next generations, led by experienced researcher, experienced person to face the COVID-19. Same thing. You need that to face Xi Xiaodong's challenge. If you don't get that, no grandmaster in the past will be able to save you from it. Not to mention, I just proved to you, you lose your two hands under your arm. You don't even know that there is a knee attack. You talk that this is what a dragging of your leg to take your energy and all those kind of stuff. Like you have an idea and then you try to use all different type of reason to justify your idea. Instead of like physics, this is the facts. Let's talk based on this fact. Then let's not just make an assumption, whatever we don't know, and then we just try to find any alibi to justify what we said. Because I'm a grandmaster, because I'm a Sifu. Sifu what? If you lost two legs of your Wing Chun team, you don't have Wing Chun. You have make believe. So this is a straight talk for you, only for those who really want to learn. Disregard of lineage. I want to see all lineage good. But if you don't go this way, you don't have it. You always have this grandmaster, that grandmaster. You have all this grandmaster, that grandmaster, but you never see any real good student come out from it. You don't ever see any real good student which can grow the art. You don't. Yet in Western boxing, in Kyokushin, in Thai boxing, you always see people grow the art. In MMA, the same. So what is the reality?